Hi everyone, my name is Peyton Pichol and I'm the TA for this class for Dr. Livingston. And today I'm going to give you a little Zoom 101 with some how-tos through the Cal Poly Zoom as well as some Zoom do-nots for all of your classes. So first things first, to get to the Cal Poly Zoom, it's free for all students. You go to calpoly.zoom.us and then you can go ahead and sign in. So you can sign in with your Cal Poly information just like you would for your portal. And this will bring you to your Zoom profile. So as you can see here, this is my Zoom profile. It has my information. I can put a profile picture here if I choose to, and that's about it. So what you're going to want to do for Cal Poly is to definitely download the Zoom app. So you can see my Zoom app is down here. So I'm just going to open that up. Okay, so this is the Zoom app. This is basically the home page here. So what you're going to want to do is sometimes, or a lot of professors will have their Zoom link on their Canvas, which there's going to be a Canvas tutorial in another video. And so you can just get to your class super easily from there. But you might want to know how to use Zoom for your own personal use or to schedule club meetings, to attend other meetings. And so this is what the tutorial is. So first things first, you can join a meeting. So click join, and then it's going to have the meeting ID. And this is something that the professor will provide you. And you can choose to not connect your audio or video, keeping in mind that you will be able to change this once in the meeting. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and start a new meeting. Definitely press join with computer audio because that is going to be your computer microphone as well as the video. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my video for you. We'll stretch this bad boy out so you can see it a little bit better. Zoom is a pretty easy app to work with. As you can see, you've got all your controls here at the bottom, and I'll go through each of those step by step so that you know what's going on. First off, this is your mute button. Your mute button is super important because in a lot of your classes, in a lot of your lectures, you'll be on mute for a majority of the time to reduce any feedback or background noise that you may have. You can also click on the little caret next to the mute and you can see I'm not on mute because the little green bar is moving up and down. And then when I am on mute, there's going to be a little slash through that microphone. What everybody else sees when you're on mute is this little tiny black square with the red microphone in it. So I'm going to go ahead and click the caret, and you can choose what microphone system you want to use. If you have a better microphone that you use, or if you're using headphones, anything like that, go ahead and use that. The other thing you can do is test the speaker and the microphone, so click on this. So then it's going to play a sound for you, and you have to answer if you hear it or not. So yes, I hear the microphone.
Yes, I hear the microphone.
And now I'm hearing my own feedback. So yes, I hear replay, finish, because it looks good. So the next thing we're going to do is you can start your video by clicking that little slash mark. Some professors will have it set up where they don't allow you to have video or audio when you first come in, and then they can take it off, or you can take it off. And to just take it off, you just click right on top of it. So a little caret next to start video shows me what camera I'm using. So I'm using my computer's camera. And I can choose a virtual background and edit the video settings. So let's go up to choose virtual background. So these are the virtual backgrounds that they kind of have, that the system has for you. So if you have a good enough camera quality and a smart enough computer, you're able to use a virtual background. If not, it's going to look really funky and then your skin's going to be all washed out with the picture. It is not an ideal situation. So because my computer is not up to that quality, I'm not going to use a virtual background. This also brings you to all of the video settings. So this is right here, super easy with their little icons. So you can go through here and just kind of walk yourself through, see what you want. You can see the microphone volume, and a lot of the other things are accessible on this bottom bar right here as well. So we're going to move on to the Participants tab. So the Participants tab will either come up here or will be its own little window here, and you'll be able to see yourself as well as everyone else who's in the class. So right now I'm only in my own meeting room, so it's only me, but usually in a Zoom you'll be able to see everyone listed out. So as the host, you have all power. So say you are running a club meeting and you are the host of the Zoom. So you have all power. You can mute people, you can unmute people, and you can basically control the Zoom meeting room as a moderator, kind of. So I can click more over here and then I can rename myself. So say I only had my first name and I wanted to add my last name, I could add that in there. Or if I wanted to add a middle initial, I can add that in there as well. Definitely for the purpose of all of your classes, especially this one, you want to keep your first and last name because we aren't doing face-to-face interaction, so it's difficult for your professors to get to know you if you have a weird name. So make sure that you keep your first and last name. So the other thing on this participants window is you can vote. So that's down here. So your professor could say, do you want me to have a pizza party? And you can vote yes, and a little check will come up by your name, or no. You can also signal go faster or slower to your professors, and there's a couple more things. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that. So the other thing that's super important is the invite button. So again, say you are running a club meeting, you can press the invite button, and then you can type in anybody from the Cal Poly directory right into here, or you can copy the invite link or copy invitation, and then you can just email that right on over. Up here, you can also just email right from Zoom. So we also have, as the host, I have all power, so I can mute and unmute everyone, and then there's a few more settings that I can use. So the waiting room is something that you're probably going to come across in most of your classes. What that means is when you log on to the Zoom, say you're like a couple minutes early, the professor will keep you all in a waiting room where you can't talk to anybody and you don't see anybody. And basically they're just going to let you in either one at a time, or they'll let everyone in at the same time so that there's not just you and your professor sitting on a Zoom. Next, I'm going to move on to the chat window. So as you can see, the chat window popped up here, so I'm going to close this one. So here's my Zoom chat. So on the Zoom chat, this is a great tool for asking questions to the professor during the lecture so that you don't have to interrupt them, like unmute your mic and interrupt them. A lot of professors will tell you what they want to do. Oh, just drop some questions in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask questions at any time. So you can type a question. How am I doing with this Zoom tutorial? Question mark. Okay, so I just basically said to everyone in the chat, how am I doing with this Zoom tutorial? You can also choose who you're sending it to. So again, I'm the only one in this chat, but usually you can click on everyone and then it will give you a list of all the people in the chat if you want to message them privately. Like if someone had asked a question to the group and you wanted to message them privately and answer them, that's a great tool. Next up is the record button. So the record button is something that your professor is probably going to use. A lot of professors will record their Zoom meetings and then post them on their campus sites, which is super, super helpful, especially when it comes time to finals and you're able to go through the actual lecture, not only your notes. Next, we're going to go into the breakout rooms. So breakout rooms, you can click on. This is something the host can do. When you have a bunch of people, so say you're in a class with 30 people, they could put you into breakout rooms with like 4 people in each room. And then you can actually unmute your mic and talk to people one-on-one and get to know more people in your class. So this is a great tool that a lot of professors will use for basically just some get to know you kind of stuff. So now I'm going to go into the share screen because this is another tool that is awesome for Zoom. So I'm going to click share screen. And then as you can see here, it gives me a bunch of options to share my screen. So I can share my desktop right here and that will share everything that I see, everyone on my Zoom will see. I can share a specific window. So right now I have Safari open with my Zoom profile, so I can share that specific window. Or I can share a whiteboard, and this is literally just a blank screen, and it has a bunch of pens and stuff. And if you've ever used the Paint app on a Windows computer, that's basically what it is. You just get to write. I've played Pictionary on the whiteboard. A lot of math professors will use it to walk you through equations, just things like that. So that is about all I have for the basic walkthrough for Zoom. A lot of it is self-explanatory, so you will be able to figure it out as you go. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my Cal Poly email right below, as well as Dr. Livingston, your professor, would be happy to answer any questions that you have. We want to make you the most successful because obviously we know that this virtual environment is not best case scenario, but we're really trying to give you the best out of what we have to work with. So now I'm going to go into a little bit of do nots for Zoom, because there are a few people who choose to abuse the virtual learning environment. So we're going to show you what not to do.